Whoever said, when you know better, you do better, must not have known the people I know. Knowing does not automatically translate into better behavior. However, I do believe that you can't do better until you know better. Education is a critical component of changing bad habits. It's not all that's needed, but without proper education, positive change is highly unlikely. As I was driving to my office today, I got stopped by a light. While waiting for it to change, I noticed a gentleman crossing the street in a motorized wheelchair. He was African American, probably in his 50s or 60s. He was hooked up to an oxygen tank. His face was gaunt. The man was significantly underweight. He looked sick. He was operating the motorized wheelchair with his right hand, and in his left hand was a transparent shopping bag with salty pork skins in it. Now look, I'm not criticizing the man, really, I'm not. I don't think that the brother knew better, but the image of him with one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel with salty pork skins in his one available hand disturbs me, and it challenges me as I reflect upon my faith community's approach to health education. I need to go ahead and state as a disclaimer that I did not talk to the man. I was driving, he was crossing the street. He may actually know better, but he represents many people I've met over the years like him who really don't know any better. Most people wouldn't knowingly take a quarter cup of sugar and just lick it, but will drink a can of soda with 10 teaspoons of sugar in it. But who drinks a 12-ounce can of soda anymore? We buy the 20-ounce, which is equal to putting 1/3 cup of the sugar in a glass and drinking it in one sitting. Most folk just don't know. I've discovered that much of what I know about health and take for granted, a lot of people in the African American community really don't know. As I started off saying, I don't believe for a minute that education is a silver bullet to positive behavior change. I have done some dumb stuff that I knew better than to do. People know that cigarette smoking is harmful to your health. They know that drunk driving kills, and yet they still do it. But while many ignore good information, there are some out there who do alter their behavior when presented with the truth. So education is a critical component of positive behavior change. Some people actually will put it into their habit-forming matrix and come out better in the long run. I realize that as an African American reared in the Seventh-day Adventist Christian denomination, I have had such a privileged upbringing, and my sons are inheriting that privilege as well already. When they get a cold, they know to self-regulate their diets. They willingly turn down sweets and increase their water intake. Listen, it's a 6 and 8-year-old. They like to run, have fun. They don't like being sick and down. And so they themselves cut back on sugar, which adversely affects the white blood cell count, and they drink more water, which flushes toxins out of the body. My little boys already know that. But I've been surprised time and again at how many adults who are dying of chronic diseases still drink sodas and eat lots of sweets, even on their deathbeds. It seems to me that they don't realize there is a correlation between diet and healing. I'm addressing this because I have a concern that there's a great gulf fixed between the healing knowledge in my faith community and the people who live in the neighborhoods where our churches take up real estate. We need to pray for God to help us as a people to make a connection. We need to consider again the words of the late Ellen White, who wrote in Ministry of Healing, page 143, Christ's method alone will give true success in reaching the people. The Savior mingled with men as one who desired their good. He showed his sympathy for them. He ministered to their needs and won their confidence. Then he bade them, follow me. It's 5 steps. The first 3 make the 4th possible, without which the 5th rarely happens. 1, mingle with people and have their best interest at heart. 2, be sympathetic to their plight. 3, minister to their needs. 4, win their confidence. 5, compel them to become followers of Christ. I know I'm sitting on information. I know it. I'm sitting on information that would transform the health and welfare of people in my African American community. But before step 5, I've got to do steps 1 through 4. What I'm realizing is that if we really care about sharing good news with people who we know need it, we're going to have to go out of our way to make a connection with them. We have to make that connection so that they will trust us enough to listen to what we have to say. Our track record is not the greatest, We put up signs because we know we've got good stuff. We advertise our cooking classes, our evangelistic meetings. We use handbills and flyers, take out newspaper ads, radio spots, send out mailers, and our results are paltry. And it's not because we've got bad information. We're sitting on a gold mine. The problem is that we've skipped steps 1 through 4. We don't mingle. We come into communities we don't live in on Saturdays, take up parking spaces of those who live in front of their houses, and then we leave. We're not sympathetic to the plight of people. We give them old clothes, and some of us give them cans of food we wouldn't eat ourselves. And while giving it to them, we sometimes treat them as if they are where they are because they're trifling and shiftless. We don't care what their needs are. Our attitude is, you need to get what I'm given when I'm giving it. And when I'm available is when I'm offering it. And you need to go on and take it. So whatever you got, that's not what I'm addressing right now. You need to take what I'm giving you right now. That's our attitude. And because we don't do steps 1, 2, and 3, we don't win their confidence. And if we don't win their confidence, we can't share holistic good news. We've got good stuff, but folk don't trust us enough to sample it. And meanwhile, the man on oxygen in the hover-round hastens to his grave, clutching a bag of salty pork skins. May God help us. Or as my Facebook friends would say, SMH.